build up to the game, and well, very nice day as well for match day today. Actually, first time I've sat here, I can't remember the last time I sat here in the sun, or actually it wasn't concerned about the weather at all. But yeah, it's been lashing it down all week, and then game day has come about, and we are actually bathing in sunshine. I'm already getting a headache because my face is creased up through looking at the camera and the sun's shining right in my face, but we're not bothered. We're here to talk about United, we're here to talk about the game today against Fulham. Welcome along to the chat, everybody. Hope you're all doing great. Get your comments coming in. We do have a certain someone doing Kaz comments today as well. Please say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
There you go. Kaz is waiting for all your comments. So any questions, any comments, anything that you guys want to put to me or even ask Kaz a question about, then get in the comment section. And obviously, if you are watching this, maybe you're on the way to the game and you can't watch it, so you're just listening to it, make sure you get your comments in after the video finishes live as well. Well, obviously we have to start with everything that's happened last night. It was a disappointing day yesterday for United, simply because of the news that we had regarding injuries. It's going to be interesting to see how Ten Hag, how he actually approaches it today, what the team is going to be, if he changes shape at all. I think is probably the biggest thing out of this one today. I feel like he's going to stick to the tried and trusted. He's going to stick to the two holding, one behind the front three, which I do believe, going off all reports, and we talked about this last night, the reports being that Amari Forson is going to be the one that comes in and takes the place of Rasmus Højlund. Not as a number 9, I actually think he will move Rashford into the number 9 position. In terms of what's happened in the media and what people have been talking about since the press conference yesterday, I think the embargoed version was of Ten Hag defending the lack of forwards at Manchester United. He's going to do that. He's always going to be using that same excuse of, well, financial fair play. They didn't let us bring in a forward. He looks like he's going to be vindicated a little bit in what he was saying in that, because he wanted that extra forward in the January transfer window, and FFP, according to him, denied him that opportunity. Could we have made it work? Could there have been a loan to come in for someone to actually just take the edge off and take the pressure off Rasmus Højlund? Well, we're just never going to know, are we? I don't believe there was a good enough striker to come in for Manchester United. I don't believe the right package was there for us to actually afford bringing another striker in. So we're dealing with it. It's Rasmus out for 3 weeks, 5 games. We estimated that at starting today against Fulham. The one game I was probably most confident in us getting through without him, because it gets tougher from this point, especially next week with Forest and obviously the derby coming up, and no major forward or no major striker in that game is definitely going to hamper us, and the pressure is going to be well and truly on. But I think Forson today, if he takes his chance, I think a lot of United fans are going to be buzzing with seeing another debutant from the academy. It will be maybe the second one this season, or third this season if you add Dangor to that. So Camberwell, Dangor, and now hopefully starting. I mean, actually no, Dangor hasn't started a game, has he? That's the difference. He's coming off the bench, but actually starting a game, it will be Camberwell and now Amari Forson probably today. That's probably what it is going to be, but that opens up the box of questions as to what is happening with Ahmad. Where is his relationship with Ten Hag in all of this, and why is he not getting the opportunity ahead of Forson? He's more developed, he's got more experience, he's waited his opportunity. The manager has said something to him and promised him a certain amount of game time, I'm sure, in not letting him go out on loan this season. But if Forson comes in today, it does look like we're not going to be seeing Ahmad at all going forward. Let's head to the comments section and get Kaz in. What's everyone saying?
Yeah, a lot of people obviously looking forward to the match. We've got Andrew and I think George, who are both coming to the match today. So I just wanted to say, anybody who is coming, feel free to come and find us at some point. We're here now and we'll be back around 2 before kick-off, just behind where Adam is now. Also a quick reminder, because Adam's not done it, can you please like the video? I think we've got 45 likes at the moment. Looks like a beautiful day, looks like a nice day at Heaven. Yes, it is really nice.
Heaven.
Nice spring sunshine. And also we've got a super chat in from Lee Mack.
Cheers, mate.
What's your thoughts on Nagelsmann if we decide to let go of Ten Hag?
Nagelsmann, we spoke a little bit on Nagelsmann last night. Awkward one for me. Great at Leipzig, took that big step up to Bayern, it didn't work. is he going to be one of them managers that is they're struggling to handle big ego play? I mean, he's a bit of a loose cannon. He is a bit of a live wire. I don't know, some people may like that. They want to see more passion from a manager. They don't see a lot in Ten Hag. You've got to be honest with yourself. He isn't really a shows his or wears his heart on his sleeve type of manager. He keeps everything inside and keeps it, PG. Nagelsmann is an 18 rated. That's what he is. His antics on the side of the pitch. He's had big fallouts with Bayern Munich. He's taken the Germany job now. The word from him was he has dreamt. It's a bit crazy, and it's a bit far-fetched for me in terms of the headline, but the headline was he dreamt of managing for Manchester United, hopefully next season. Very specific and very far out there, I would say. So in terms of Nagelsmann, I'm unsure about that one. A lot of people will say good, definitely a step forward. I'm not in that boat. I think he's on a par with Ten Hag personally. Not completely convinced by him, but hey, you just don't know what's going to happen. The pressure is on Ten Hag now because of these injuries, and the only reason that the question came out about Nagelsmann and why people are talking about it is because of the Rasmus Højlund injury. And you may think that's just a bit, you're clutching there a little bit, Adam, but no, the pressure's on now because Ten Hag has to win these games. He has to get in the top 4/5, whatever it takes to get in the Champions League. If he doesn't, then his job is on the line, and other managers are going to be mentioned. There are a few out there now starting to gather, and the momentum will build. So it all depends what happens here. Like, he'll put it to bed for a few days if we get the win today. 5 in a row, gives himself some breathing space. Back into the comments again with Kaz.
Yeah, quite a lot of comments around Ahmad. UAP Mothership says Ahmad needs a chance. Mike Fergus is saying, Adam, I think Ahmad doesn't play much because he's only 5'4" and not big enough for the Premier League.
Forson's the same.
And then Paul Greaves says, I just don't understand the Ahmad situation. This has vibes of the Ollie and Donny situation to me.
Yeah, 5'4" counts for nothing in football. Amari Forson isn't much bigger. Palestri's not much bigger. You're only looking maybe a couple of inches for Garnacho as well. So yeah, when I look at players like Ahmad and people start bringing up his size, he's played in one of the toughest leagues in world football, in the Championship. That's been proven that it is one of the hardest leagues to play in, one of the most competitive leagues, and one of the most exciting leagues that you can actually play in. So no, I think Ahmad is fine. I think he'll be all right. We just don't know if he'll be all right for United because he doesn't get given a chance. More from Kaz?
Yeah, Roger says, Adam, you're great and great show.
Thank you, Roger.
And
Appreciate
Mr
that.
Cheetah has been a member for 3 months.
3 months, Mr. Cheetah. He's renewed as well. Thank you very much. Everyone who does want to become a member, just drop down in the description. The link is there under membership, or press the join button on the main page, and all the options are open for you. I just love you all subscribing. That's good enough for me. But if you did want to contribute and be a member, then that is there for you as well. Anything other in the comment section there of importance from today's game?
Well, we have top of the league in the comments.
Nice.
What was the point in paying Ahmad's transfer fee if he's going to spend years constantly going out on loan to the Championship or stuck on the bench?
Well, I thought he should have gone to the Championship. I thought he should have been loaned back out. I don't think he's going to get the game time at United. I think it's being proved that way now. I feel like we're in a position with Ahmad now where the games are that important. Are we going to be able to risk bringing him in for certain games? We're never in a game in a situation where we're 2 or 3 comfortably in front where you can start testing players out and giving them game time. Every single game at United is always tight. It's always to the last minute. You're always nervous. And I think that Ten Hag looks at that and goes, well, I can't really risk him. But he is going to be taking a massive risk today in playing Amari Forson in his first start for United ahead of Ahmad. If that is the way he goes, this could completely spin yet, and that could have been all media speculation, and we could actually see Antony. We might see Bruno on the right hand side and McTominay back in midfield. There's loads and loads of options for Ten Hag, but I feel like with what Laurie was saying from The Athletic and where a lot of other media outlets have actually pushed on that as well, I think Forson today, massive day for him today. Like, full packed house, Old Trafford, massive important game. It's going to be big for him today. He had a little bit of a cameo on pre-season, didn't go too well, but has come in and impressed in training, which is big for Ten Hag. And I look at it and go, this is your moment. This is where you have to step up. I talked about it last night. Certain players today, yeah, you've got to take your opportunity as a young player coming through. When the opportunity comes around, grab it with both arms. Go for it. Just enjoy it, and your chance may come again. But it's the senior players today that I want to get into more. I'll come to them next after a few more comments from Kaz. What we're saying?
Well, we've got 93 likes, so we're getting close. And Jan's in the chat. She says, "Good afternoon, everyone. Got YouTube on, TV and chat on iPad sorted." Michael's asking, "Did you hear about Varane leaving Manchester United?"
Yeah, that news was circulating this morning. I touched on it last night as well. The contract situation with Manchester United right now. There was a show that I did where Ineos were putting everything on hold, or United were putting everything on hold, contract negotiation wise, with any player that was due, or they were thinking of giving more to, i.e., bigger contract, more wages, or anything like that. Obviously, Varane falls into that category and is being renegotiated down, but they also said that they were going to wait. They were going to do a little bit more of an audit. They were going to just check that everything was in place with Ineos. They wanted to make sure that they had the final say and wanted to ideally just wait it out before making a big decision until the summer. Now, obviously, Varane is able now, with it being the last 6 months of his contract, to negotiate with teams out of the Premier League, and that includes the Saudi Pro League. So he has been communicating with Saudi teams. We know this. The money that's involved is big when it comes to wages. He is out of contract, so United won't get a fee. All we're doing in this is either getting his wages cut down, or we are losing him for nothing, and then we need to replace him. Yes, we will save a lot of money annually with that wage, we will, but at the same time, we are losing a quality player that we need to replace. If Varane goes, we need 2 centre-backs in the summer, because we're hearing that Lindelof is also out the door. I'll be a bit gutted, to be honest, but his contract is over. He's seen out his contract. You can't really argue with that, can you? You can't really say it's we've not got our money's worth out of Varane. 2 seasons in the Champions League. If we get through this season, it all looks good, doesn't it? But yeah, back into the chat with Kaz.
Yes, Henry is saying, "Hi Kaz and Adam, I don't want this German coach. I think he is a load of trouble."
I don't think he'd come in, I'll be honest. I don't think it's going to happen.
And then Super Fat Frank is asking, "What kind of food do you eat inside, if any?" It's a good question, Super Fat Frank.
What do we eat on what type of food?
Yeah.
Matchday food.
Inside, I guess. Not a lot.
Oh, inside? Nothing.
Not the chicken.
Don't touch it. I don't touch anything inside Old Trafford, really, food-wise. I have everything outside, so we'll go over now, find somewhere, sit down, a bar or pub or a cafe, something like that. Have something to eat pre-game, get fueled up, ready for what I can only describe as Adam antics while in the game. Everyone around here right now, Kaz, Charlie, will vouch for that I'm a bit of a lunatic when it comes to watching football. I've got a feeling today that everyone's just going to have to be prepared for an outburst today. I've got a feeling it's coming. It's got a feeling of one of them days where yesterday morning I was full on confident mode. Now I'm relying on Marcus Rashford. I'm sort of like, I'm ready to explode. I want to be taken aback by Rashford's performance because I don't think he's got it. I want to be surprised in how he applies himself. I want to be surprised in what Rashford actually brings to the team today. If he takes it upon himself to actually be the senior figure, because that's who he is in this team. He's been here and played more games than anyone in this squad today. So he has to be the one that leads the line. He also needs to be the one that leads by example. You've got Bruno next to him in that category as well. They really do need to be the leaders. They are the most creative too as a couple, or as a partnership. A partnership that's been proven in the Premier League. They create more together. I think it's De Bruyne and Haaland who are probably the ones above them, but for me, they're the ones that need to step up today. More from Kaz.
Hoppy says, "You have a visitor, Adam," with a laughing face, so I don't know if we actually do or...
I've got a visitor?
Maybe. Is it you, Hoppy? And then Syed says, "Hi Adam, who is our left back for today's game?"
Oh, who said that?
Syed.
Syed, who's our left back? Now, that's the worry. I think it's going to be Amrabat, Syed, honestly. I do believe he's the only one that's played there in this team. I don't want to see Lindelof there. I think Amrabat's got more about him, he's stronger, and I think he's got a point to prove. Lindelof, we know he's going, but back to Kaz.
S. Madison says, "Sunny, innit?"
Sunny, it is sunny. It's squinting. It is full on squint mode. It is full on squint mode.
And we have a super chat in from Fight Clips. Struggling a little bit to read it. It says, "Hey mate,
come here, my man. Come and take a
oh,
perch
we
here.
we have James entering."
Look who is here, people.
Just quickly, the super chat was from Fight
Go
Clips. Hey mate, where you from afar? Can I come up for a pip?
Just come and see us, guys. If you want to come and get on the live show, guys, and you're here and you're watching, come and say hello. We've got James here right now. James, T-shirt weather in February. What's going on?
Unbelievable, mate. Like Manchester in February, T-shirt. Like never seen it before in my life. Never.
No,
Why are you in a hoodie?
You know what? I've got my coat. I'm sat on my coat.
Boiling, pal.
It is warm in the sun, but you know what happens later? It goes on the Chilston, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It drops
It
off,
does
the sun
every
goes
time.
down, and then we're all sat here. Oh, we're stood here freezing our ass off. My back seizing up and everything. But, right, mate, I've got to speak to you about what happened yesterday. Confident mood, confidence level from the morning to the afternoon. The morning, we had the same squad as we did in the last game, but then we got the news about Rasmus.
Yeah.
Where are you at right now with this game today? Are you still confident we're going to get the win?
It's Old Trafford, isn't it? So I hope so.
Yep.
Unbeaten in 2024, so positive from that point of view. But it's a big miss. What is he, 7-6?
6-6 in the league. That's a record for his age. Youngest player ever to get that. We heard that against Luton last week, but it is a huge loss for us right now. Was that energy? And I think that hold-up play. We haven't got a plan B for me. That's what I'm worried about.
Well, I don't know what the reports are. Is it Forson up top? Anthony, it's his birthday. Is he going to play? Is Scott going to get a chance in the 9? Like, literally, we don't know, do we? It could be anything.
We're
So it's
judging who should play off the birthdays and
It's
certain
my
events
birthday,
in the
can I
life.
play?
Yeah, it's my birthday. Let me play.
Can I play, sir? Please.
So you can have some birthday cake, but you won't be playing. For you, though, what was your preferred?
Ooh, what do I prefer? Going to get loads of hate in the chat for this, but I prefer Scott in the 9. I really would.
Scott at 9.
Would, yeah. Like, if you look at the goals that Rasmus has scored recently, like clinical finishes and stuff, I back Scott to score them. Like, his movement's obviously not as good, but actually, in terms of like finishers that we've got at the club, he's probably third behind Martial if you actually count the fact that Martial's hasn't played in a long time. But like, Scott's an unreal finisher. I'd give him a chance, mate. I really would.
Well, do you know what? I look at it sometimes and I go, I would say, you know what? Just go out with an intent of just get out wide and cross the ball as quick as you can, and let's see what Scott can do there. And then we pick up the pieces and the rebounds. Just sort of old-fashioned football instead of cutting in, trying to be clever. If you send the wingers out with a message today, and this is what I'm sort of backing up your position of putting Scott in here, it only works for me if you play to a player's player's strengths. Scott's strength, we quite clearly can see his heading and getting in that 6 yard and timing his runs. The only way it works is if we play wide and we cross the ball early, giving the defenders less time to settle, and that's why he got that goal at Villa. Yeah. That's how we're getting these goals. You know what I mean? 2 goals from crosses against Villa. Obviously Maguire from a set piece, and then the great cross from Dalot. But I think there's something there, and for me, he doesn't do anything else but get in the box and be a nuisance. And if you're not going to play that type of football, it's not going to work for him. It's going to look like lamb to the slaughter for me.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I think Scott's strengths are obviously like rushing onto play, getting into the box, doing that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like, do you go and play Anthony and bring him in? Like, do you try and keep Rashford on the left because he's actually been decent there recently? Like, I know people are saying, oh, he's not in form and that, but the last couple of games, he's actually looked direct and looked a threat from the left from my point of view. So I don't really want to move him and put him up front. But then it's the problem you've got of who do you play on the wings, and then if you're going to pull the ball back, who's going to be rushing onto it if Scott's not there? So is Bruno going to get forward? Are you going to have that movement from midfield? And then does Forson get a chance? Didn't he set up Mainu for the winner at Wolves? So like his movement and his control and stuff and hold up play, he might get a chance. So yeah, it's going to be interesting for dilemma for Ten Hag, isn't it?
That is the word. How do you think Kaz is doing with the old comments job at the moment? Do you think she's doing all right?
Not very well.
Be nice,
why are you in a hoodie, Kaz?
I've got my gloves on as well. I'm freezing.
She's got gloves. Honestly, you can't see this, but she's got one glove on, one glove off, reading comments in a hoodie.
I'm just like
in
Michael
glorious
Jackson.
Sunshine in Manchester.
Yeah.
Her daughter's looking at her like ashamed. Like, honestly, Kaz, like you need to be this side of the camera, pal. This side.
James, you look like you've been in the sun actually.
Sunbeds at the gym.
Well, actually, James isn't alone with his comments about playing Scott up front. So Rakan says Scott for striker is going to win us the game. Sad Sack says it's freezing outside, man.
It is cold when the sun goes down.
Yeah. And then
Araya just now, actually.
Yeah, literally, right on cue. Yeah.
You can tell James is getting cold. Araya says big up Adam and Kaz. Stu says my score prediction is 2-0 United. Come on.
I said 2. Yeah, I'm taking a 1 and running. I'm just getting the 3 points and getting out of here. Give me the W.
However, unfortunately, Sad Sack says 2-3 Fulham bubble burst today.
Oh, mate, we don't need negative comments like that.
What's Fulham's form like? Because, like, literally, early on in
Shocking.
the season, they were decent, weren't they? And then Mitrovic went, and then they had those 2 games where they scored like 2 games in a row. And I was like, oh, Fulham are firing. And then since then, they've been poor, right? So really, they should be there for the taking
And
today.
Polinia's suspended today.
Oh, he's a big miss.
So without him, their record is shocking. I think Graham was telling me this last night. They are absolutely diabolical in terms of form without Polinia. He is their linchpin. He is their main player. He will be gone this summer. That's why I was sort of debating. I thought Rasmus isn't as much of a miss for us as Polinia is for Fulham.
100%. He's not. Like, it depends how we fix it, right? It depends how we replace Rasmus. We're going to miss his goals, but at the end of the day, like, Polinia is central to their team. Like, they need to win the midfield battle. They will not win the midfield battle without him. I expect Cobby to get a lot of time on the ball. I imagine Casemiro is going to play alongside him and Bruno. Like, Eric Ten Hag seems to like that midfield 3. That midfield 3 should be able to get control of the game, in my opinion, and create loads of chances. And it's Old Trafford. Let's hope we take a few.
Yeah, guys, keep getting your comments coming into Kaz as well. Obviously, let us know how you feel the game is going to go. Let's see what Kaz has got for us.
Kestra says, top show from Top Reds, loving the vibe. Thanks, Adam and Kaz. Come on, the Reds.
There we go.
Always get
Great
called
chat.
The top red, mate.
Yeah.
Always get called the top red.
Top Reds.
Araya says Rashford will score today. Let's hope so.
We're going to need him to.
Goals have got to come from somewhere, haven't they?
Yeah, I know, I'm struggling around the rest of the pitch. Like Garnacho, got hope. Bruno needs to step up today, don't he?
Bruno.
Bruno, his goal output has dropped off. His creativity has dropped a little bit. I think we do need to see something from our captain today. I think he needs to step up alongside Bruno. That's what I was just saying before. Anyone else for you who needs a game today? Who needs to prove something to the fans?
I think defensively we should be quite solid. I know it's going to be a makeshift defence, but I think
Who are you pointing out left back as well on top of that? I went Amrabat, mate.
It's going to be Lindelof, and it's going to be Lindelof. I think
that wasn't just the cold weather. I got a shiver down my spine.
It is. It's going to be.
Honestly.
I'm not suggesting it should be, but if you look at who he's brought on substitutions wise when Luke Shaw's had to go off, it's been Lindelof, hasn't it? So I fully expect that. We need Wan-Bissaka back. We need to recall some people off loan. I'm a big MS fan, to be fair. Like, really, really big. Harry looks absolutely great, but far too early for him. Fernandes we sent out on loan. Reguilon we sent back. Luke Shaw's now injured for the season. Like, we've got severe problems injury-wise, and it's not every team in the league has had injury issues, right? So it's not it's so unfair on Manchester United, but our squad is just not deep enough to deal with the injuries that we've got at the moment. And we're just going to have to win it in other areas of the pitch. And thankfully, our midfield 3 is probably our strongest 3 of Bruno, Casemiro, and Mainu, and they've got to just control the game. And you've got to look at people like Rashford and Garnacho to step up.
Yeah, it goes to show how lucky we are and why we cannot afford one more injury right now. We're clinging on now, and I think one more, say a Mainu, or Casemiro or Bruno now, I think it completely ruins the season. I think we're struggling past that point if we lose any more players now. I just feel like we're in a spot where we need players that haven't been playing well to step up that we're not expecting. Defensively, I'm agreeing with you on the defence. Actually, I feel like we're not too bad. We're not too bad at the back with Varane there. And the only other bad news was we was hearing that Evans is injured as well, because I would have started Evans. And I don't know what Maguire's situation.
He's been good when he played recently. To be fair,
he's been our best partnership with Varane, I feel.
He has been good.
But no Maguire. I don't know about Maguire. I don't know what his situation is. Nothing's been said, so I'm guessing he's available. And obviously, I think he'd be the one that starts today next to Varane. But it was like when he came off against Luton, it was like, what was that? Was that just because he was struggling? Was he injured? At the moment, there's a lot of people moaning about the medical staff and everything, the whole setup at United. When this sort of happens, what do you put it down to? Is it just general too many games recovering from a busy season? Is it the medical staff, the preparation, learning how each player is different to the next and trying to cater for them more, not forcing them back too soon? What is it? Because, yeah, Newcastle have had it, but this has been an ongoing thing for United for years, mate.
Yeah, it has, and we signed the medical doctor, didn't we, from Arsenal or something recently, and it's an interesting one with injuries because people look at it and they go, oh yeah, like there's too many games, they're training too hard, they're doing this, and it's like, I actually flip it and I put a lot of accountability on the players. I really do. I think it's your job to look after your health and your body. And yeah, you get freak injuries like the Luke Shaw one years ago against PSV, and that has knock-on effects, and you get people with long-term injury issues. But you look at how Ryan Giggs adapted his career, and you look at how he introduced yoga and how he took care of himself. And I look at people and I'm like, there's got to be a lot of work done from a prehab point of view and a rehab point of view. And I look, and Sir Jim's come out with this interview this week and he said, listen, the culture around the club, we need to get the best in class, but we also need a culture of just drive and motivation. And I'm not sure that's there when it comes to like the fitness side of things. I don't think we're pushing ourselves in the right way, and I think that shows on the pitch. And I remember speaking to one of my mates, Cam, and he said, we're so unfit. We're really good in the first 20-30 minutes of games where we press and we go for it, and then we just gas out. Use some of them inhalers, mate, that Klopp got his hands on, I swear. Because seriously, we're gassing out, proper gassing out.
What do you reckon, guys? Into the comments, Kaz, what have we got?
Malps is asking, are you missing the pigeons today, Adam?
They're actually around, but there's more people than pigeons today, guys. So
it's rammed, isn't it, for this early before kickoff?
Honestly, every single game now like this. It's like they've put like some secret offer on and everyone gets here early, mate, honestly. But more from Kaz, what have we got?
Luke Casey says, afternoon, Adam, loving this location.
Nice one, Luke. Appreciate it, mate.
Don't
It's not bad.
Old Trafford in the sunshine, does it?
No, I don't, especially before a game as well.
And then Top Cat says, it's so basic, but with McTominay sitting at 6'3", we need to whack him up top and ping in some crosses.
I just said that.
Listen, if we're picking people on birthdays, then we can pick people on height as well, can't we? We can.
Well, he's got an attribute. He scores goals, and we need goals right now.
Isn't he joint top scorer in the Euros? I think he's our top Premier League scorer as well, he was before Rasmus went on a run. He's got attributes. He's a really good finisher. I think if you go before the game and you watch the warm-up and when they're taking the shots and stuff, he's a really controlled finisher of the football. I think he has got attributes. It's just that unfortunately, where he's been played over the last 5 years, we've obviously seen that that's not his skill set. But if Ten Hag can get his actual skill set out of him, then why not?
Yeah, exactly. Go on, Kaz.
Christine saying, please make sure Big Scott doesn't get injured. We Scots need him up. We need him on top form for the Euros. A few goals from him might keep us a wee bit longer, hopefully.
Got a Scottish fan in the chat, obviously.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the most unsounding Scotsman ever in Scott McTominay.
He doesn't sound Scottish, does he?
But hey, if he brings us the goals, honestly, I do not care where the goals come from. All I want now is the W. We need the win. We need to be in the Champions League. The noises, if we want to survive, James, are Ineos need Champions League football. They need Champions League football for the balance. With the PSR and financial fair play, people are not understanding. I think the difference and why it's getting so misconstrued within social media and the conversation is PSR is different to financial fair play. Financial fair play is for the teams in Europe. PSR is for the Premier League. That's why the Premier League are trying to copy what financial fair play is doing and bringing the new squad rule in. So I feel like Ten Hag now, and why people are talking Nagelsmann, for instance, is simply because Rasmus got injured. The pressure, one defeat, and you know what it's like at United. Everyone's waiting for it. We're unbeaten in 2024. Everyone's waiting for that one defeat, James, just to go in and say, I told you. It really doesn't matter. We forget about what's happened before and just go straight in on Ten Hag. That's being the United manager, mate.
Yeah, I mean, if it happens today, Ratcliffe's first game, actually after confirming the 27%, you'll just see social media go mad, won't you? It'll be typical. Social media will go, oh, this wouldn't have happened under Qatar. What's going to change? What's this? Listen, the whole world freaks out on the back of one result, positive or negative. One win isn't going to mean we get top four. One loss isn't going to mean we're not going to get top four. The game's important, but at the end of the day, Sir Jim's come in, and I just want to touch on this because I've not really spoken to you about it, but I've been really impressed with everything he said, all his interviews and stuff, everything he's said, everything he's done. I think if any other owner would have come in and said that, I think we'd be really, really happy. And at the end of the day, yes, the Glazers are still here. I'm 100% Glazers out, always have been, always will be. But if you look at when the sale process was going through, and you looked at the fact that the Glazer siblings were arguing amongst themselves, some wanted to sell, some not, it's like, is Sir Jim now in a situation as the single biggest stakeholder in Manchester United, and is he in a position where he can pick off the Glazers one by one and eventually end up with a majority share and run the football club? And it's evident with the stuff he's saying this week about knocking Liverpool and City off their perch, again about coming in and saying, the clubs in London don't even come close to the size of Manchester United, and this could be the hub of the north, and we could rebuild the stadium and all this. And listen, it's all fantastic to hear, as a Manchester United fan, and you can tell he's a Manchester United fan. I heard all this noise about him, oh, he's got a season ticket at Chelsea. Just listen to him speak about the club, listen to how passionate he is about Manchester United.
Yeah.
Like, we come here every year, February the 6th at Munich. We haven't seen the Glazers here for 19 years since they've owned the club. Sir Jim Ratcliffe here, Sir Dave Brailsford here, Sir Alex Ferguson here, all here for the memorial. They get Manchester United, mate. And let's hope it starts with a win today.
Well, here's one that's going to counter that for you. You're loving what Sir Jim is saying, mate, but his preference is a new stadium, pal. Now, that's sort of obviously split your sort of
James is already crying.
With what is actually the right thing for United fans. I think it is, ultimately, because I mean, we're of a certain generation, the modern United fan, and the way the world's going to be. Hey, I mean, yeah, just because I've got grey hairs in my beard, mate, you won't be the same with me. But you can see both, can't you? When you've got your sensible cap on, and when you put your reality head on as well, the new stadium, you're still going to come, aren't you?
I haven't been in ages, mate, to be fair.
Well, if Greenwood's sold in the summer for you, and then forget that conversation, but you don't do the right thing, there's a new stadium to come to, you're going to come, aren't you?
Yeah, I will, mate. Listen, at the end of the day, like, I love this place. I've been coming here for 27 years. I love walking down the old Warwick Road to Matt Busby Way. I love the feeling you get when you walk to the stadium, get goosebumps still after 20 odd years of walking here. I love this stadium. I still want it to be part of Manchester United going forward. I really, really do. There's no doubt when you go to other grounds in the country, you go to like the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, phenomenal. Like, I'm not talking atmosphere-wise and stuff, but actually the layout of the stadium, superb. You go to New Wembley, like for cup finals and stuff, superb. You go to the Emirates, superb. And it's like Man United is lacking, along with like probably Goodison Park. It's probably one of the two worst. Yeah, exactly, and they're moving on as well. It's one of the two oldest and worst stadiums, actually, infrastructure-wise in the country. So I'm not against the fact that it needs a regeneration or a move. And at the end of the day, just because you're supporting a purchaser of the club doesn't mean you have to agree completely with every single decision that they make. They obviously, you hope that they make it with the best interest at heart. If they come to the decision that Manchester United will be better off in a new stadium and they put the funds into that and they do that, then yeah, I'm completely behind it and I move. But it's not my preference, but that doesn't mean it's not good for the football club.
Yeah, we're still going to have the Matchday vibes, people. We'll just be in a different location. And here's one that I think will clinch it for you. If the new stadium came and it meant bringing the under-21s and the women here, I think that would be a clincher and probably sway most United fans to go, you know what, that's probably a better outcome in general for the whole football club, not just the men's first team.
Yeah, I've heard little stories about that. Move the women here, the under-21s or whatever. Get the new stadium, call it the new Old Trafford, call it the Duncan Edwards Stadium, call it the Bobby Charlton Stadium, call it something like that, and keep this place as part, because you probably can't see it on the camera, but right outside Old Trafford there's all these stones basically and bricks on the floor, and they've all got the names of all the players that have played throughout this club in the past, and we're going back generations, and 3,000 and odd games with an academy product in the squad. Like, this is more than a football club. Like, the history of this place, it's not like Chelsea moving or City moving or anyone else. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world with the biggest history in the world. So I want to see this place stay as part of Manchester United in some capacity, and if they're at it while they do it, can they change the beer as well, because we don't want Carlin, do we, Carl?
Everyone said no to Carlin. Everyone said no. More comments coming in with Kaz. What have we got, Kaz?
Darryl says, I like this James guy, speaks sense.
There you go, James, you got a fan.
One person in the world thinks that speaks sense. We don't usually get that, do we, lads? We don't usually get that.
Luke says, New Trafford is the way forward. Anderson Bullen says, Adam likes a showman, you've got your own styles.
Yeah, Styles, Adam Styles.
Adam Styles, yeah. Harry's famous brother.
Nearly.
Was at Luton, wasn't he? Harry Neville didn't recognise him.
It's that haircut. Yeah, guys, get your comments coming in now. I want to know what your team is. I want a final decision on that front three. Let me know what you think it should be. You've got options. We did it last night. Is Rashford the best option as number 9? You want to bring Scott in, like what James said? You're bringing Forson in. Is it going to be Ahmad? Is it going to be Anthony? You've got options there. Does Bruno play on the right hand side? Does Scott go into midfield?
Who did you choose that?
I went Forson. I thought, you know what, go for it. Go for it. But I do understand the shout for Ahmad. I understand the shout for Scott. I understand it's makeshift. You've got to just adapt and make it work. And unfortunately for us, we're dealing with it a lot. I mean, I'm looking at the billboards up there for Remington. I've seen Mason Mount on the front of Old Trafford more times than I have on the pitch this season. We're just dealing with crap because he has played on the right hand side quite often. He could have been a player that came back. We thought he was coming back, but again, I don't want to get into it again because it's match day and we're looking ahead. But that bleeding, the injuries and the medical staff and the whole history of it at Manchester United over the last 10 years and what we're dealing with, it's letting us down right now. And I think that's going to overshadow what Ten Hag was just building, because we did have momentum a little bit.
It is a bit of a shame. Like, if you look at, we had Martinez and Shaw back playing together for 2 games maybe.
We had the Varane-Martinez partnership. It looked good. We were winning. Martinez looked like a beast. And then bang.
And then Martinez, MCL, so he's out 6 to 8 weeks minimum. Shaw, muscular injury, majority of the season. And those two are big. And like Rashford's form when Shaw plays is much better as well, because their combination's much better. The reason that I've gone with Scott at the top is I just think if you've got those 3 players that I think are all playing all right in Højlund, Garnacho and Rashford, if we can leave 2 of them where they are and just substitute Højlund for McTominay, then I'd rather keep Rashford on the left and Garnacho on the right where they're actually playing well, rather than having to shift everything and go, right, Rashford there, move Forson there, move Garnacho there. I just want them to stay in their solid places, so that's why I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Score predictions, guys. What we're saying, Kaz. Any other formations? Any other players to come in from the comments section?
Yeah, there's a few comments on that. So Top Cat says Rashford left, McTominay 9, Nacho right. UK Strain says birthday boy starts. Dobby saying we can win as long as McTominay doesn't start, because Dobby is a big McTominay fan, don't forget.
Yeah,
clearly.
Z says Ahmad for the right wing today. Leandrew says Forsan and Ahmad give the youth a chance. Sad Sack says play Bruno as 9, keep him out of the way.
False 9, Bruno. Chance. Option.
I've only ever seen him do it in like big games. I saw, like, was it Solskjaer or was it Ten Hag that did it against City? Going back a while now. Who was it?
I think it was Solskjaer, did it?
Solskjaer that did it against City.
Failed.
I'm not a massive fan of that, to be fair. And when it's interesting, I've seen a lot of shouts for Ahmad on social media, and you've got to, whether you're Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out, whatever, you've got to realise that these guys see people on the training pitch every single day, don't they? And I know that's a really lazy argument to use sometimes, but there's something that Ten Hag is seeing in Forson that he's not seeing in Ahmad.
It's his job on the line. Yeah. If he wants to play him, then he's the one who'll take the flat for playing Forson, who's not played a United game ever, or started a United game ever, against more experienced players, and experienced players that he spent a lot of money on to bring to the club as well. If he wants to do that, that's a manager's decision. He has to make the big call. So realistically, if he wants to do it, good, I'm all for it, but you got to take the shit when it comes afterwards if it goes wrong, mate.
Live and die by the decisions, don't they? Like, everyone's so reactionary nowadays, so one bad decision can cost you your job. So yeah, he's going to decide what he thinks is best for the team and best to keep his job.
Yeah. Have we got any score predictions coming in yet?
Yes, James Davies says 3-0 Man United.
Confident,
Ford says 3-1 win. United Spotlight, United win 1-0. Lollipop says I take a scruffy 1-0 to be honest. Barry says 2-0 United. Malcolm 1-0 win for United. Z says 3-0. Mike 3-1. So a lot of positivity, I'd say.
Yeah, guys, who do you think is going to be United's first goal scorer? Obviously, that is you can win a mug. Who are you going for? Who are you going for?
Who am I going for?
First goal scorer today. We're putting a bet on. We're going down to the bookies right now. What's your bet? First goal scorer?
Probably Bruno Fernandes. I guess he's about 5-6 to 1. I'll get Bruno.
Bruno. What are you saying, Kaz?
I'll go with Garnacho.
Garnacho. I think I'll go with. Do you know what? I'll go with a corner. Varane.
Varane. I knew he was going Varane.
Varane. I think he's more than due. I think Varane is more than due. Definitely.
Not Harry Maguire, no.
If he's playing, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be playing. But if Maguire's playing, I think Harry scores today.
Who's centre back then if Maguire didn't play?
This is the
Kambuala?
thing. You've got
because no Evans, is there?
No Evans. You've got Lindelof, who may be forced on the left, and you are desperate then, aren't you? You're then down to the bare bones. Kambuala, and we could see 2 academy players start the game today. If it is, he's just not said much about Evans or Maguire. If any of them are injured, then we could see Kambuala and we could see Forson start today, and it could be a spine of an academy team. You could have Forson, you could have Mainu, and you could have Kambuala. I was watching them in the 21s at Leeds Sports Village last season. Unreal what is happening to this team right now. But you know what? Days like today can bring something out and then start a future, and can be the start of something even bigger for this football club with these young players coming in.
Don't win anything with kids, mate.
Well, we know that's wrong, don't we? But hey, I would say that's quite a confident shout these days. It's a bit different now. But honestly, I think we've got it today. I think it's going to be a tough one. I don't think it's going to be anything straightforward. I'm going 2-0 United. I think we'll get Harry Maguire if he starts, a goal, and I think we'll get... I'm going to go Garnacho as well. I think he's having a moment. What's your score prediction?
I go 2-1. Bit of a nervy one, but 3 points is all that matters. I see a lot of people saying style of play, this, that. Listen, we're unbeaten in 2024. Old Trafford last season, what was so successful is what we lost one game from like August onwards. I think we lost Sociedad at home, and then we went like unbeaten for the majority of the season at Old Trafford. We can get our form back at Old Trafford. It's going to be crucial, and it's going to be massive for our top 4 push. So yeah, 2-1. Bit of a nervy one, but yeah, Rashford and Bruno to step up today.
Yep, that is it. Quick comments, super chatting.
Yeah, Fight Clip says, good to see a United fan talking rather than, I think it means Nottingham
Forest fan. Yeah. And we're live outside Old Trafford as well, so there's no hiding, there's no studio here.
No comment.
It's just reality. But guys, that pretty much finishes up Matchday vibes, the warm up to the show, warm up to the game even. Hopefully it's not a show. I mean, the refs are involved, wasn't it? And the VAR and everything. Yes, sun's back out again. We're going to go and grab something to eat. Make sure you've got your notifications on. You tuned in straight after the game for all of the Matchday vlogs, my reaction, and then obviously later on today we've got Jay on live for the breakdown show tonight, back in the studio. But guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the super chats. Any new members? Any what's the word to rejoined members? I always get that one mixed up. Renewed is probably the best word, isn't it? But yeah, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for joining us outside Old Trafford. Hopefully it's a win for United.
Yes.
And we're talking later after the game about 3 more points for the Reds. Come on, United.
Let's go Reds, come on.